Robert was just going about his routine as a taxi driver when he unhesitatingly helped a panicked pregnant woman get to the hospital. But the next day, everything changed. His peaceful routine was interrupted by a mysterious man following him closely on a motorbike, urging him to stop. Little did Robert know that this encounter would be the beginning of something that would change his life forever. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Stories to Heal. Today I am happy to share a new story with you. Don't forget to subscribe and watch to the end. Robert is a 32-year-old man who plays the role of a father of 2 children. In his daily life, he works as a taxi driver, a job he does with full dedication and love. From a young age, Robert had a strong desire to be financially independent. He did not want to continue relying on his parents or older siblings to provide for his needs. Therefore, he decided to start his journey as a taxi driver when he was still in his early 20s. At first, he saw this job as a sideline to help pay for his college tuition. However, as time went by, Robert began to feel comfortable and enjoy his profession. Gradually, this job became his main source of income, and he has continued in this profession to this day. After graduating from college, Robert hoped to find a job with a good salary right away. But the reality was not as simple as he imagined. Finding a permanent job with a high salary turned out to be like looking for a needle in a haystack. After months of interviews and many rejection emails, Robert decided to make his side hustle his main source of income. Every morning, Robert wakes up early, helps his wife with the housework, takes his kids to school, and then begins his driving routine. Having grown up in the city where he lives, Robert knows almost every corner of the city, which makes his job easier. He usually works until 3 in the afternoon, then goes home for an hour's rest before returning to the road. For Robert, driving a taxi is more satisfying than working 9 to 5 in a stressful office. He also feels freer because he is not bound by his boss's rules, which gives him the flexibility to spend more time with his family. One Sunday afternoon, after spending time with his family, Robert decided to leave work, even though he usually takes Sundays off. However, he was forced to work that day because he needed money to pay some pressing bills. About 40 minutes after leaving home, he picked up a pregnant woman who looked to be in her late 20s. From the shopping bag she was carrying, it was clear that the woman had just come home from the store. "Where are you going, ma'am?" Robert asked as he helped the woman carry her shopping bags into the car. "Thank you. I'm going to Jalan Boulevard," the woman replied with a warm smile. "Okay, let's go there," Robert replied as he started to drive. Not long after the car pulled away, the woman's phone rang. From the brief conversation, Robert guessed that the woman was talking to her husband, who sounded upset that his wife had gone shopping alone. "Relax, honey. I'm a big woman. I can take care of little things like that," the woman said in a teasing tone. After she hung up, she smiled at Robert. "My husband is too protective. He doesn't even want me to do anything. He loves you. That's natural for a father to be," Robert replied with a smile. Their conversation continued. The woman asked if Robert had children, and he replied that he had 2 daughters, ages 5 and 7. The woman seemed very excited to hear about Robert's children, especially since she was expecting her first child, a baby girl. However, when they arrived at their destination, the unexpected happened. As the woman was getting her shopping bags out of the car, her water broke. She looked at Robert with a panicked expression on her face. "Are you all right?" Robert asked worriedly. "I think the baby will be born soon. My water just broke," the woman replied in a shaking voice. Without thinking, Robert immediately helped the woman back into the back seat and drove to the nearest hospital, which was about 15 minutes away. All the way, Robert tried to keep the woman calm. "Please hurry. I'm not sure I can hold on much longer," the woman cried, looking in great pain. Fortunately, there was little traffic on the road that day. Robert was able to get to the hospital faster than he expected. As soon as he arrived, he got out of the car and called a nurse, who immediately arrived with a wheelchair. After making sure the woman was being treated, Robert left the hospital, but not before placing the woman's shopping bags, cell phone, and wallet in the patient's room. That night, as he ate dinner with his family, Robert told his wife and children about the day. He hoped the woman and her baby would be okay. The next morning, Robert returned to his usual routine. However, around 10 in the morning, he noticed a man on a motorcycle following him. After a while, the man asked Robert to pull over. "What is it, sir?" Robert asked after he got out of the car. "Sorry, I have to stop you like this." "I'm Jack," the man said, introducing himself. "You may not know me, but I know you." "I'm not sure I know you," Robert replied, confused. "My wife, Ruby, is the pregnant woman you took to the hospital yesterday," Jack explained. "Oh, how is she? Did she have a safe delivery?" Robert asked excitedly. "Yes, Ruby is fine and our baby is healthy," Jack replied with a smile. "She wanted me to give you this." Jack handed a white envelope to Robert. "Oh, no need to bother. I just did what I was supposed to do," Robert said, trying to refuse. "Please don't refuse. Ruby really wants you to take it." After Jack left, Robert opened the envelope and was surprised to find a large sum of money inside. Tears welled up in his eyes. The money was enough to pay off the debt that had weighed on him for so long. That day, Robert felt as if a great weight had been lifted from his shoulders. For the first time in a long time, he felt hopeful about his future. On his way home, he reflected on the valuable lesson he had learned from this incident. Life had taught him that good deeds do not always bring rewards, but sometimes it is the small acts that make a big difference. When Robert returned home, he told his wife about the incident. They both cried tears of joy at the kindness of Ruby's family. His wife said that this incident was real proof that kindness always brings blessings. In the days that followed, Robert became more enthusiastic about life. He worked harder and began saving for his children's education. He also began to teach his children the importance of helping others without expecting anything in return. A few weeks later, Robert received a message from Jack. Ruby wanted to meet Robert to thank him in person. They met at the hospital, and Ruby introduced Robert to her healthy baby girl. Ruby named the baby Grace in honor of Robert, who had been her savior at a critical time. This meeting became the beginning of a warm and close relationship between Robert's family and Ruby's family. As time passed, the two families visited each other more often, sharing stories and happiness together. Their relationship was filled with warmth, mutual support, and sincere togetherness. For Robert, this incident brought about a great change in his life. He felt that his life became more meaningful and colorful because of that simple moment. Robert realized that a small act done sincerely and selflessly can have a huge, unexpected impact on the lives of others. For Robert, this incident was a valuable reminder that life is full of beautiful surprises that can happen at any time. It also reinforced his belief that kindness is one of the most valuable gifts he can give to the world. Since then, Robert has decided to make his resolve a guiding principle in his life, to continue to try to spread kindness to everyone, even in the simplest form. He believes that every act of kindness, no matter how small and simple, has extraordinary potential to have a positive impact not only on himself, but also on the people around him. He truly believes that kindness is an energy that never disappears. It continues to circulate and eventually returns to the giver. Kindness often comes at the most unexpected times, in the most unexpected forms, providing beautiful surprises that strengthen his faith to continue on the path of goodness. Like this story? Click like and subscribe for more stories, and share your thoughts with a word in the comments section.